So, how to be 10 to 50% happier almost immediately. This is something that I do with my clients from the beginning, almost from the beginning, or an invitation that I extend to them right away. And most of them continue doing it beyond the week that I invite them to do it. And it's called an information diet. So we are inundated, as you know, with information. And most people, especially if you experience anxiety or depression or those lower emotions a lot, one thing that will help almost immediately is just to take that information diet, and I invite you to do it for 1 week. So what is an information diet? It's basically not listening to news at all of any kind, whether it's on the radio, the TV, newspapers, all the world news that is so sad and so depressing. And the argument I hear from people is, well, how will I know what's going on in the world? Trust me, if an asteroid is headed to Earth, you will know. Somebody will tell you. It's everywhere, right? When you go online or open your computer. And you can extend this to social media too, if you have a lot of that kind of stuff on your feeds. For myself, I've, cultivated my feed and curated my feed to be, it's very, it's stuff that's very aligned with me and lights me up. So for me, I'm happy to go on Facebook for a certain amount of time, a day. But if that's also the case for you, then you might want to extend it to social media. But definitely any sort of news, books, anything that you feel that when you consume it, it makes you feel bad or brings you down. And here's why it's helpful. Because it makes you feel bad and brings you down. And the best thing you can do for the world, for humanity, is not to know every piece of bad news that's going on. It doesn't serve anybody. It doesn't serve you, obviously, right? Because it brings you down, it makes you anxious and sad and depressed. It only contributes to your state of being not being the highest possible state for you. So because everything is energy and frequency, and because we create our reality via how we feel, our consciousness, so your state of being is basically how you feel. So your reality, what you experience and what you see, gets created based on how you feel right now. Then whatever is the result of that is a direct result of how you are feeling. And this is a basic principle of law of resonance or law of attraction. And collectively, as a human race, we collectively also create reality based on how the collective is feeling. And if everybody is consuming all the crappy things that are happening in the world, what do you think that does for our collective consciousness? Super low, super low vibration. So then we're going to keep creating this cycle. So the absolute best thing you can do for yourself and the world is to prioritize your state of being to be the highest possible state you can be at in the moment. And it is always a choice. Every single second of your life, you have a choice in how you feel and your state of being. And yes, there are things we're not always going to feel our highest, but what is the highest state you can possibly access in this moment is a great question to ask yourself. And when you take this information diet, try it for a week, see how you feel, see what happens. I absolutely promise you, if you do listen to and watch a lot of news and a lot of bad news, this is going to completely change your life. Now, this doesn't mean that you cannot take action, right, on things that you feel lit up about taking action about. You feel like volunteering, helping people, helping a certain cause. That's great when you're for something, when you're for having clean water, when you're for feeding hungry people. When you're against something, when you are angry about something, when you fear something, so then you take an action. And when you're coming from that space, again, it's a small, contracted, very low vibratory state, and you're actually not helping or serving the world when you take action from that place. I mean, it may be short term, but that is not the state you want to be in. So you can still go help people and do all those things. But if you're going to go and be super depressed at a homeless shelter while you're helping them, you're not helping them by being super depressed. Now, if you're going to go in and be a light and you actually feel really good doing it, it really lights you up, that's wonderful. Do that. But prioritize your state of being above all else. This is your number one job on this planet right now, to prioritize your state of being to be the highest possible state you can access. Joy, love, abundance, peace, happiness, harmony, all those things. If you don't know how to do it, just ask me. We can have a conversation about it. This is what I do. This is what I do with people. So your homework, if you choose to accept this challenge, is to cut out all information for the next week, all lower vibratory information. If you want to read all the good things that are happening in the world, that's awesome. Do that. And just see how it changes your life, and let me know. I would love, love, love to hear what happens for you. Okay, so much love. I wish you a beautiful day of the highest possible state you can be in right now in this moment.